You will be given a test to determine your ability to withstand shock.
Well, look who's here.
This is the night when fear and horror walk hand in hand.
Do you feel up to it?
The most terrifying form of evil is that which lurks within the human mind.
Rated X.
It's What the Fuck Are You Watching? We're an alright show by alright people, and we discover the disturbing, the extreme, and everything in between. Before we started this podcast, I had only ever seen Homeward Bound, which I think kind of prepared me for animal deaths in movies. You might not know this, but they flung 20 some cats off a waterfall trying to get the right shot in that movie.
What?
They fucking wrecked cats in that movie, man.
That's so
I mean, that
sad.
checks out. We're not... It's like we rebelled against our genetic ancestors. We were like, you know what? These creatures aren't majestic or godlike or ethereal. Let's fuck them up. There's more than one way to skin a cat.
Hell yeah. But only one way to stab a pig.
Well, we already know that's not true, because we've seen at least two.
Yeah, they fuck those pigs up too.
Or Papua New Guineas.
Lisa, do you mind telling me, what the fuck are you watching?
Unfortunately, I watched Black Metal Veins from 2012.
Hell yeah.
Good
And
old
you know what?
Lucy.
Lucifer Valentine. And I just want to get it out of the way now. If any of you want to recommend any more Lucifer Valentine movies, we will not be watching them for a while. I am done with Lucifer Valentine for a while.
I take it you didn't like this one?
I'm just done with his movies.
I will never, unless you implicitly ask me to, I am never gonna shove a dildo in your mouth. I'm also never gonna video it unless implicitly instructed to, because I don't even enjoy that. Either of those activities, in fact.
You don't want to make the next Lucifer Valentine movie before he makes it?
I've also legitimately had someone throw up while sucking my dick, and I'm here to tell you, I will never do that to you. Also, I'm never going to be the guy that, pays you for your time in heroin. I'm also never going to ask you to recite a, we'll call it a community service announcement and or graphic warning at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that's what he did, but I'm saying those were the performances given. So I'm inferring that, these are things I'm never going to do.
Ugh. Yeah, those disclaimers were fucking...
Honey, darling, dearest. Those women were in danger.
Yeah.
You could tell they did those disclaimers after they got fucking wrecked for a year straight.
They were dead eyes, and then this, but also fear, and reading it off the page, and looking up at whoever's holding the camera, not gracefully.
Yeah.
Is this good?
All right, so this is Black Metal Veins. This is a listener recommendation from Hexylox on Instagram. Thank you for the recommendation. Anybody else has any recommendations for us?
That are not Lucifer Valentine.
Send it in to our email, wtfareyouvwatchingpod@gmail.com, or hit us up on our Instagram at wtfareyouvwatchingpod. This one's written and directed by Lucifer Valentine. We do have some experience with Lucifer Valentine. We covered the Vomit Gore series, so I think we are well familiar. As usual, I think we're going to try not to get into his personal stuff. We're just going to cover the movie at hand. Just know the guy's got some issues. Anyway.
Maybe he has issues. Nobody really knows anything for sure, I think. Every story I find contradicts the story I read before it.
I know at the
So-
very least this one was overtly exploitative, whereas the
Well,
other ones
yeah.
were just, you know, probably exploitative.
Yeah.
That's true.
Anyway. IMDb's kind of fucked on the starring list. It only says it stars Autumn Misery.
Well, they might be right. She was the star for me.
So we had, what, Autumn Misery, we have Raven, we have...
Brad, Chris, Doom,
And Brad's parents.
Was it
Brad's
Brad's-
parents, and then we have
Oh, that
Raven's boyfriend.
Mark or something. Got a little, I guess you could call it a synopsis that I'll read for you. Black Metal Veins unflinchingly documents the dark realities of despair and morbid self-annihilation surrounding the lives of 5 heroin junkies. The addicts' intertwining stories of pain, loss, sadness, and abandonment lead the viewer down the agonizing and hideous paths of horrifying psychological and spiritual destruction as the grim disease of heroin addiction infects and decays the bodies and minds of 5 young people.
Does that not seem like such an exacerbated... Listen, I'm prone to sort of, we'll call them elongated sentences. I'm not known for speaking concisely, perhaps, but like...
That's
This-
a monster sentence.
that was a big self-suck, that one. You know?
Yeah.
We didn't have to do all that.
It was hard just to read it.
Good
Yeah.
God. It's also, you know, I hate this man, so
Yeah.
then there's that.
That was contributed by Anonymous, which was probably
But
Lucy.
it's
That was
man,
the same.
Yeah,
that was the same
because,
description I've read on.
every
I
single thing.
Swear
So I know
Yeah.
that was the one he issued himself.
Oh yeah, because as soon as you started reading it, I was like, "Oh my god, it's the same fucking one I've seen everywhere."
Yeah, I think I've seen it too. I remember unflinchingly. I've read that multiple times. I mean, he watches a bunch of people shoot up heroin. I guess you could call that unflinchingly documenting.
I guess. I just want to know how much is real and how much is set up.
So those were shots going in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But how much of it was he like telling them to do?
Well, I am curious as to where the delineation is between like how much of this was self sustaining use and how much of it was, well, I'll give you $100 for another bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Type situation.
Yeah, we got more shots we need to get.
Yeah, maybe. But at the
But
same time,
that's strictly, that's just conjecture.
I kind of
I
think
know.
we honestly don't know what's real and what's not, but I could probably see him wanting them to be,
Using?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
or like going through withdrawals and stuff, like being all sick and shit. He'd probably like that.
He does like the puking.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell with fucking Lucifer Valentine, man.
Mhm.
You don't know what's real and what's not. The only thing I'm 100% sure on is Raven dying. Didn't happen.
Yeah, that's definitely fake.
Anyway, you might be wondering, can I use this as a heroin PSA for my kids? Can I play this for the youth group at church to show them the dangers of drugs?
You absolutely can.
Let's check out the parents' guide. Sex and nudity has been rated severe. Sex scenes. Full female nudity. One of the characters is a prostitute.
What?
References to child abuse. Violence and gore has also been rated severe. Shooting up heroin is graphically shown and makes the viewer uncomfortable.
Speak for yourself.
Profanity is also severe. Strong language throughout. alcohol, drugs, and smoking. I think this is our first severe. The whole movie's about drug abuse. There's several scenes where shooting up is graphically shown. Also, smoking and drinking. Frightening and intense scenes. That's severe. The entire documentary is grim, nihilistic, and depressing.
Nihilistic is an appropriate adjective here.
Yeah, especially coming from fucking Doom. King
Listen,
Nihilist.
I would describe myself as a nihilist, but it's like a comforting thing.
Yeah.
It can be comforting to know that this is all not permanent. Yeah, this was not a comforting brand of nihilism.
No.
Yeah, it's a little fucked. So yeah, what do we just kind of hang out with some heroin addicts in their apartment.
Well, they like crack too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I take heroin. I use heroin. I inject it into my body. I snort it in my body because I am addicted to it. I am a walking fucking abomination.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess we're just kind of following the lives of drug addicts that also like black metal. It's called Black Metal Veins, but I think black metal kind of takes a back seat.
Well, we lose the plot on it real quick, don't we?
Well, I don't know. Brad's trying to keep black metal alive through the whole thing. He talks about it through the whole thing.
Well, and they keep like a scene switch. B-roll is just Brad hitting one power chord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of the Lucifer Valentine kind of shit going on where it's just clips of like them playing their black metal music.
Yeah, but I think I'm pretty sure they just got like a 1 minute clip
like
or something.
Like the same clip, yeah.
I do think well, because, they had to go re-up.
I'm thinking there is no band.
I don't think there's a band.
I didn't get heavy band vibes. I got, we haven't pawned this guitar yet.
Yeah.
Do you like B minor chords?
Yeah, dude,
I know that one.
Pawning that guitar is the last resort, man. You gotta be
No,
on.
it's like I need a pack of cigarettes. That bitch is getting sold.
No, man, these guys are black metal fucking devotees.
Okay, Brad is.
He's not gonna fucking pawn his guitar. How else is he gonna make it big on the black metal scene?
He's gonna pawn the guitar.
He will.
Maybe that's why we didn't get any more guitar clips.
Yeah.
After like the 10-minute mark. Well, I guess we're gonna do things a little different. This episode, we're not gonna do like a kind of full recap, just because it's heroin junkies just hanging out in an apartment for most of the movie. So I think we're gonna just jump into each character that it's featured in the movie and just go from there. So I think we'll start with some of the minor ones. I guess we'll talk about I think the first character we're gonna discuss is gonna be the guy that gets fucking murdered. His name is Chris.
Was he the one? Is he the taller, typically topless one who had the man? If my ex is in jail, guy.
Yeah.
That was the first real interaction with Chris. Yeah.
I liked him. He was funny.
They got high, and then he just starts saying things like, "Oh, my ex-fiance got thrown in prison."
If she were here, we'd bend her over the table right now. She'd say, "Fuck me in the ass."
Yeah, I took her ass virginity. She's in prison. I love her.
Yeah.
As soon as she gets out of there, I'm gonna marry that woman.
Hell yeah.
She's sexy as hell. I'm gonna tell you what, I wish I was still with Wendy, man. You'd have videotaped us. I could have told her we wanted to fuck right now, been over this table. She'd have been all about it. And my ex-fiance, she got thrown in prison while we were engaged, man. And she's fucking gorgeous. All kind of hardcore. Fucking took her ass virginity. She's like, just fuck me in the ass, and choke me, punch me in the back of the head. She's in prison.
Yeah. And then he says things like his dad shot himself when he was younger. I think that was him, right?
We had a
that was Doom.
Oh, maybe that was Doom.
We had a veritable there was two different characters who there was a veritable epidemic of fathers shooting themselves. Doom was the tumor dad who ended up shooting himself.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
I thought it was two separate stories.
This man also had a dad who shot himself.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So, you know.
He also talks about how, he lost his kids.
Yeah, another thing.
Another consistency. Yeah.
They all have in common, yeah.
And then also in that same conversation, he says, "We shot a bunny with a nail gun and threw it on the grill."
Thankfully, we were not treated to a depiction of this.
I know.
Just like, he just says it so casually, like all of their other conversations. They just say this off-the-wall shit so casually because they're all on drugs, obviously.
Yeah.
This is a thing. It brought back floods of memories for me. It's like when you meet a new group that you're doing drugs with now, you get the flash, the play-by-play of their entire life. Like all of their either legitimate or fabricated core memories are just vomited at you in rapid-fire succession.
And 90% of the time when we're just hearing these stories, we're just kind of sitting in the living room. Everybody's kind of gathered around the coffee table, just prepping up fucking heroin.
Lines and shots.
And they're just
That's exactly how it is in real
sharing
life.
their life stories, basically.
Yeah.
And it's legitimately not even cute how non-unique. It's just, this was my whole life. This was everyone I knew's whole life. This was so copy and paste for me.
Yeah.
That it was depressing, but also like, but I think
I will say for like a drug house.
Yeah, well kept.
Kind of, well kept.
Yeah.
There was a full set of rims that they were using as a side table, but other than that, I mean, it was pretty clean.
It was.
I think Chris makes a unfortunate end.
Yeah.
And a drug deal gone wrong.
It says he's shot 4 times in the head and in the chest.
Now we will.
And we have all tried to look it up if it is real, if it really happened or not, and we can't seem to find the actual answer.
Yep, we are not able to confirm his death. I guess I would believe it. I don't know.
So this feels more like this feels 4 in the head and 4 in the chest.
Yeah, it's a little
this
wild.
feels more like you broke into somebody's house situation.
Yeah.
No, I guess I'm not saying I don't believe it, because, this shit does happen. It
absolutely does.
Fucking a Meryl of A. But I would like to say, I'm just kind of putting this out there. If I was a documentarian documenting the lives of heroin addicts, and one of my characters dies in the middle of the documentary, I would ask the other characters about it. Because it's a big fucking thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
One of your dudes just fucking die?
Yes and no. This is the thing.
It's only mentioned once later.
I was gonna say it does get a shout out, but it also gets put alongside the fake one. So
yeah.
But also yes and no to it mattering. Because these people falsify a sense of like familial bond with each other, but the reality is we don't actually know how long these people have known each other. It might have been just this day. Because that's how those circles work.
Even when they mention the death later, they say Chris is dead, Raven's dead too, and then he says, "I just don't care." And then they go on to tell each other about how they just try not to even think of anyone as their friends anymore because people just die. And so it doesn't even matter.
Well, and the crux of is Brad our metal enthusiast?
Yeah.
The crux of his storyline is that his baby mama was already dead by this point. I don't remember for sure what she was called. I almost want to say
Angie.
Angela. Okay, because I thought it was strange that it was another. So it was like it matters. Someone dying matters, but in these groups, you don't even know if they actually even knew each other really.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I could agree with that. But if I was Lucifer Valentine, I think this would be a juicy piece for my fucking heroin documentary.
Yeah, but imagine you are Lucy Valentine. So, like, you're coming at it, you're already a huge piece of shit.
Yes.
And you're also, like, not necessarily talented in the creativity department.
Okay.
And you know that storytelling is also not one of your fortes, but you do have this camera and some money for more heroin.
Yeah.
So that's where you're starting from. See, because you, I would argue, are probably a better storyteller. So, because
maybe
I don't know that he's successfully told me a story yet, and we've watched 5 movies by him so far. So,
yeah,
I just felt like if he wants to cover fucking heroin addicts and one of them literally dies in the middle,
I agree.
You're gonna bring it up.
I agree.
You're gonna be like, fuck yeah, this is the climax of the movie, at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
He tried to do it with Raven. He had it literally happen with one other guy. Why didn't we use that?
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't have enough B-roll of him to make it. He just had that one scene with them. Maybe, I don't know. I have no way to reconcile any of Lucy's decisions.
That's my only. That's my only kind of sticking point as to I kind of think it's bullshit, but I kind
of do too. Dude,
I know. I wondered, like, did this guy just like go to rehab or something?
Well, that's what I figured. He just fell off somewhere because people come in and out.
Yeah,
and that's how it goes too. Yeah,
Albuquerque or some shit.
Yeah, my money would be on that, or just jail.
Yeah, that makes more sense because if it's some juicy shit like that, it would have been brought up. I don't know.
I would think so too, but also, not necessarily.
Yeah. It's hard to tell, man. Like, anything Lucifer Valentine, I'm always like, this is bullshit. Everything. I question literally everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Chris's story.
See? That was a well-told story.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Now, who would you like to talk about?
I guess we'll go with Doom.
Okay.
What are these earrings?
Yeah.
And are they gross to anyone but me?
Well, I mean, considering the fact that he probably never takes them out and cleans them.
That's what I mean.
Really
There's a smell.
Gross.
There's a smell. You can smell him sitting next to him.
Yeah.
Because I've interacted with some gauges that weren't appropriately cared for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I know at least the bigger one of the, because he had these 3, we'll call them like Medusa-y, like snake tentacle things on either ear.
Yeah.
I mistook them for like sideburn situations when I first saw them. They in fact were earrings though. And at least the one, like the biggest one of them, was at least slightly gauged. Like, because it was big and round. So I know there's a smell.
Oh yeah, this shit smells like shit, man.
And also, I don't think he actually uses hair gel, but his hair does not move.
Yeah, dude, I swear his ears had like kind of some black and like funkiness on them.
Oh, yeah. Otherwise, though, I actually really like Doom.
Yeah.
He's an appropriately named.
He's very doomy.
Oh, yeah.
I know exactly where I stand. Nowhere.
He's only nihilism and, sort of nihilist to the 9th degree, though. Like,
yeah, he's just monologuing, dude.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Well, that's someone who's spun out anyway. But then you get these, because, you know, you get the happy ones that are just like, they know they're a fucking burnt up idiot. And they're kind of okay to hang out with. These ones are the ones that are exhausting, though. The ones who, like, are convinced of their own, like, depth and, like, spirituality and stuff.
Yeah,
That's an
maybe.
exhausting energy to be around when you're fucking...
Oh, yeah.
Maybe, but at the same time, dude, I think Doom might be the most chill one out of that whole fucking group.
I don't know. My money's on Raven's boyfriend, and he's... Because, you know, an extra chromosome or two can make you a real chill bud.
Nah, something's fucking wrong with that guy. We did not see it on camera. I don't trust that motherfucker for a second, dude.
So I might be completely wrong, but isn't he the one that shot Raven up before she died?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He's also the full-grown man with almost a speech impediment level of affectation.
You rewatched the movie, right, Liz?
Yeah.
Did it say where he was from?
No. Not that I remember.
But this is what if I had to guess, it's like Cincinnati or somewhere up by like Boston or Marlboro area, because like they have that weird R thing going on. But then his was so severe that I was like, is this like a guy that should have been in speech therapy as a kid?
I guess we don't really know what happens to Doom.
No, we don't.
He's only featured in like the 2 scenes, I think, right? Like
he doesn't get a lot of screen time.
He's in our first group session for a while at the beginning, and then he makes a reappearance to shoot up Brad in the neck because Brad can't shoot himself up.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess Doom's just living his best life.
Yep. Getting up to whatever bridge trolls do in the day. I don't know.
All right, the next fucking character we're gonna get into, I think it's gotta be Mark.
This is the boyfriend.
This is the boyfriend.
These names are not landing for me. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, this is the boyfriend of Raven.
Mm-hmm.
He, I think, is in the Navy or something.
Well, that's what she says in the beginning.
And he...
What do you think his gig was in the Navy, by the way? Now, I've met some fucking duds from all branches of military, so I'm not...
I couldn't even really tell you what the fuck the Navy does, to be honest. I know they, deploy a lot, but it's, not a typical... Not what I would think a deployment is. They just go, I don't know, fuck off in the ocean for a little while.
Yeah, they just hang out on the boat.
They call it a deployment?
And have lots of gay sex.
The running gag is that they are all homosexuals.
Maybe. Fuck, I don't know.
I
don't know what they do. I mean, you just take care of the fucking boat?
I think it's money laundering.
Yeah, what else could it be?
For the Pentagon? I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. But
well, I was like, I know that some people would have jobs similar to what you did, where they're like calling in attacks and things like that, you know, like calling in fire.
Yeah, but this isn't a guy you'd give a real task to, right? This is like a go mop that floor kind of guy.
Yeah, he's probably like the cook or something.
Yeah, he might chop up the onions.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I've done naval gunfire.
Yeah.
Of course, we never used it because it's in the middle of a fucking desert.
Yeah.
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 I don't know what the fuck these guys are doing. They fishing trips?
Also historically pretty gay.
Anyway, that's fucking beside the point. Anyway, this guy's in the fucking Navy. He's gone. Raven is spending all his money on drugs. Mark is not a drug user.
So he says.
Mark also has...
He's in the Navy. He has to say that.
Mark also has a very suspicious accent.
Yes.
Don't know where it's from. I swear he's a Frenchman trying to hide his accent.
I don't like what it does to her, physically and emotionally, and Raven has 2 kids. She loves her kids more than life itself.
There's... I don't think so, man. It might be. I think it's a mix of Northeastern and a speech impediment. I think he's got that thing where they can't do their R's.
Okay, he's not a Frenchman, but he is
a pussy.
A French Canadian. He's a French
Lucy
Canadian. Lucy homie, exactly. French Canadian, super rural trailer park boy. Okay.
See, that's a good example of a word this man could not even say.
Was there a colon in that word?
No, that was actually a semicolon. That was a
rule colon rule.
I put a squiggly on it on the top.
So, have you ever seen a word with an umlaut?
Yeah, that's a double daughter.
I thought you were going to call it a colon.
That's a sideways
colon. I knew that's what he was going to say.
What is he doing? What's his end game here?
He does his best to dick down old girl.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I don't know if it's supposed to be like he's just so in love with her that he's doing whatever he can to keep her happy.
No, I think it's because he's genetically defective, so he doesn't know that Raven's a piece of shit.
Maybe. And yeah, he's pawned everything he owns to pay medical bills and shit from her ODing and him having to take her to the hospital.
Yeah.
No, she's got fucking abscessed armpits and shit.
That's just the drugs coming out, man. They gotta go somewhere.
I think you could almost make a case for early Raven. She is like a healthy weight.
So she's definitely
got her issues.
This is a common thing though. She's obviously pretty. She was a very pretty woman.
Yeah.
And then but that was her personality.
And now Mark is
also kind of cute.
He's not
he's
terrible
cute in
looking.
like
relative to the fucking crack den that we've been living in for the last 6 months.
That's probably influencing it a bit too. It's just maybe by proxy type situation. But like he's like cute. He's not hot. He's cute.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't talk, he's fine.
No, for sure. As soon as he starts speaking, you know this is like a blowjob buddy, and then go home, like type deal.
Yeah.
This is not a hangout for a while.
Yeah, I just don't know what his deal is, man. And he's like a complete enabler, like 100%, like in Raven's like darkest times. He's just shooting her up. He's tying her off and shooting her up.
See, but like he's a simple creature though, because he knows, well, if I get her there, I can just rip her clothes off and put the dick in.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so there is one part where he's like, Satan has a hold of Raven with her drug abuse, you know. Satan has a hold of Raven and Brad because they can't stop doing drugs, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. He has this whole little speech about...
Oh, I forgot about that.
Uh-huh. And then later on, we see him shooting her up with what is supposed to be her fatal dose.
Which maybe this was when the acting began or something.
Yeah.
Because this is also, if I'm not misremembering, we're up in there, cinematography-wise, on pretty much every shot that goes in. Not so much this one.
I just think it's weird that he was shooting her up.
Especially all of a sudden when she's been perfectly willing to do that herself this whole time.
Yeah,
and she's been the one shooting Brad up because he's the one who can't shoot himself up.
Exactly. Like, she's been fine with shooting herself up. Why does he need to do it now? But I mean, she didn't die. So it's not like he fucking killed her or something.
Yeah.
Also,
none of it makes sense. Literally nothing makes sense.
My favorite thing that whatever the fuck his name is said.
Mark?
Yeah. Is when he was kissing Raven and he said, "Oh, it tastes like crack with camel."
Oh, yeah.
That was great. Crack with camel. Which
God
made me
damn
think
it.
he did just get back from deployment and probably spent a little too much time with the wildlife.
Yeah, dude. Mark's a fucking mystery, man. He's a weird fucking guy, dude.
Yeah.
Let's move on to... I guess we'll do Autumn Misery.
This is my protagonist. This is my fag hag. This is my good time gal. In this film experience.
My favorite character for sure.
She is a treat.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, I beat the fuck out of people, do them in the ass and like hurt them and I piss on them, shit on them. Anything nasty or like, you know, all them things you wanted to do to people. Yeah, I do fucked up shit.
It's a wild one. She just breaks the fucking door down, dude.
Yeah.
She comes in like the Kool-Aid Man. She comes in hot.
And like, you guys talking about me?
Let me show you my tattoo.
Yeah. And he was just like, "Oh yeah, you got some cool tattoos. That's what we're talking about."
She said, "Oh yeah, have you seen my shaved pussy?"
Takes her whole fucking pants off to show this tattoo. That's probably not even really worth showing off. I mean,
It's not. There was not a good tattoo featured in this film.
No. Yeah.
And instead of rolling her pant leg up, she takes her whole motherfucking pants off.
Mm-hmm.
No underwear. She don't give a fuck.
I was about to say, she's pretty, it's a good intro, and it's fitting, because you learn pretty much what this bitch is about from the get-go. She busts the door down, and you're going to see her pussy.
Well, our first glimpse of her was her just doing that weird
rolling around on the floor.
Dance, rolling around on the floor in a hotel room. Yeah.
Yeah. And so she shows off her...
So we knew what we were getting.
She shows off her tattoo, and it's a small little tattoo. But the camera is just...
on the pussy lips.
On the pussy.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's looking at her vagina. And as much fucking pussy as Lucifer Valentine has filmed, you'd think he'd have it figured out by now.
No, I think that's what he likes.
Yeah, make everything look like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Autumn Misery's out of control. She's a fucking heroin / crack addict. She's a prostitute. She's also a tutor of sorts.
Pimp tutor.
Well, yeah, she knows this older guy, and he's really cool. He's really saved her life. She probably wouldn't be alive without him.
Yeah. This is a young,
and,
65 years old.
Yeah, and he likes to give girls dope for blowjobs, but he's not good at setting that situation up for himself. So Autumn comes in.
The girls get too high and don't really suck his dick.
Well,
so
you know,
she has
nobody
to try
wants,
and coach him,
yeah.
you know?
Nobody wants to work anymore. The girls just want to, you know, they're all about fluff. Everything's just fluff. And you know, they'll come in and they'll talk to you and cook you food, but that's just so they don't have to do anything. So I had to coach him.
So what was going on before Autumn Misery stepped into this guy's life?
I think old dude was watching girls smoke crack with his dick out.
Just hoping they would finally fucking touch it.
And then finally he found Autumn, and she's like, "Well, do you want me to suck on that while I do this?" And he was like, "Yeah. Can you get other girls to do that too?"
Yeah.
Like, fuck yeah, I can. I will pimp out every girl I've ever met so that I don't have to do it anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, she teaches him the ways of the crack whore. She's
she's just a good friend.
One little hit, and then you say, "Suck this dick."
Yeah, so what you
And
do
then
is
you get the 8-ball.
You get the 8-ball. You bag up a 40. You get a 40 ready, and you have that bagged up. And so when the girl gets there, you give them a hit. And then you show them the bag. You show them what they want. People will do what they got to do for what they want.
Uh-huh.
And then, I go out and I talk to the girls and I say, oh, you're hot, what are you into? What do you want to do? Well, this guy wants his dick sucked. You want to do that? So you can play with me in front. And then she also says that, that always works because everyone's a lesbian when she's involved. Because, even though the girl's not a lesbian, she said, I think I would be for you, Autumn.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Just gotta show off that tattoo one time. Got him.
She said, so yeah, I'll give her another hit and then we get to work. And it's important to mention that she goes on a large part of this diatribe leaning on a toilet.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
And her hand goes back and forth from toilet seat to face, toilet seat to face, toilet seat to face.
Mm-hmm.
We do a lot of face rubbing and a lot of toilet seat rubbing. And then, every now and then she's got to take a quick little vomit break. And I just think she's real fun.
She spent most of the time talking over the toilet.
Yeah.
And
at some point, doesn't some of the other crew fucking bust into the bathroom while she's fucking doing her little monologues, and they just jump in and say, gutter slut, or some
one of my other favorite lines is she's talking about, the guy sucking, or the girl sucking dick for the crack, and Brad is also in the restroom, just off to the side. AIDS!
Oh, yeah, that's what it was, yeah. AIDS!
Yeah.
It's probably not wrong.
No, at the very least, they've all got hepatitis. They're all sharing. Not a clean needle to be found,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she says at one point that she's pregnant and that she's trying to save money to have an abortion.
Yeah, because the love of her life got her pregnant. He's in jail now.
And before that, though, he really made her feel bad because he was calling her stuff like a drug addict and a whore.
Yeah, when she told him she was pregnant, he was calling her things like a drug addict, and he made her feel really bad.
Yeah.
Because, why would you call her that?
It might be all the drugs she's doing.
Yeah. It's kind of like how Raven used to be a crackhead.
There is something poetic about having a crack pipe in your hand.
What's the Mitch Hedberg joke? I used to be a pothead. I still am, but I used to be too.
Yeah. Same gig. But yeah, she's trying to save up for an abortion.
Mm-hmm.
She's got nobody and no one. She's all she's got.
And we see Brad shooting her up in the stomach right after she's talking about she's pregnant.
And that seems to be effective, even though that's not really how that's not how anything's gonna work.
You just shot it right into her fat. That's all just fat cells.
Yeah. But it's okay because it's coupled with some diligent finger blasting by Brad.
That's what I was gonna say. He fingers her while he's doing it, basically.
Yeah. It's like a double penetration, but even sadder than normal. But not in a
cool way. Yeah.
Do you guys think that this was a naturally occurring thing, or is this Lucifer interference?
I think this was staged.
This was the product of some direction. I think Autumn is, by her own accord, probably the most accepting of direction of any of this cast, probably.
I think that it's either one of two things. I think that either she wasn't really pregnant and he just told her to say all of that so that then they could do the stomach shooting up thing and make it more shock, Or she was pregnant and he was like, oh, you want an abortion anyway? Let's go ahead and shoot you up in the stomach. I just don't know which one it is.
For me, none of that mattered. It was that I didn't know what these people thought shooting up in the stomach would do for them.
I know.
But I guess
That's what I really think it's just the shock value of like
Yeah.
she went from saying she was pregnant to now they're shooting drugs into her stomach.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
I'd argue that's probably
'Cause-
That's probably a Lucy shtick.
Oh yeah.
I kind of think so too, because then, like, I think a literal rape happens. Because Brad,
he does just swap her right over.
This is the most coherent I think Brad has ever been. This whole movie, he just fucking folds that bitch over like a lawn chair.
Yeah.
And starts taking her shit off. And then the scene cuts.
Well, yeah, because he's not going to get it up, first of all, because they've been down in heroin and whiskey for this whole situation. And I don't know if you've ever done any heroin and whiskey, but what's not going to happen is an erection. So I guess he just folded her over and was going to do some more fingering.
There was a lot of fingering in this movie.
Yeah, Autumn got finger blasted like crazy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like it. There's something comforting about, just reaching over and fingering a pussy, I guess.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm assuming getting fucking shot up with heroin while you're finger blasting somebody is probably pretty cool.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe because they all say it feels amazing and better than sex and all that.
After Autumn, let's go to, I guess, Raven.
Yeah.
Okay. So Raven's kind of main character.
Yeah, she's one of, this is basically the Brad and Raven story, mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that, yeah.
He's like my brother. Yeah, he's been staying with me since my boyfriend's gone. He's supposed to be keeping me out of trouble. I spent like $1,200 in a 5-day period of his money, cleared out the fucking account altogether. Drugs. All of it on drugs. No groceries, no food. Well, I bought some candy.
Now, Raven starts off real bouncy, kind of. I guess she almost stays that way.
She does
she's
pretty much stay that way.
I'm pretty sure she's got 8 phones that she's constantly talking to somebody on.
I know. I just kept thinking of that. What is it, Kevin Gates?
It is Kevin Gates.
I got 2 phones.
Yeah. Me too. I know for sure there was 3. But one of them was a house phone, right?
Yeah, one of them was.
Which I haven't seen one of those in years. So
she's talking to her fucking Navy boyfriend on one phone. She's talking to her mom on another phone. She's probably talking to a drug dealer on the next phone.
Yeah, she's got the connect on at least 2 of those.
She's fucking wheeling and dealing, dude.
Yeah.
She's got a pet rat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's her apartment that they're in for basically the whole movie.
Yeah. It is, because that's her closet.
Well, her and her boyfriend's.
Yeah, because that's her closet and bedroom situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she says she'd lived there for like 9 months or whatever. She's like, I've been dating my boyfriend for 9 months. I moved in here when we started dating. And her boyfriend's, in the Navy, like we said, off. And Brad's like, oh, her boyfriend lets her get away with a lot of shit. She was like, yeah, he does.
Yeah, dude, they're all fucking railing Raven.
Mm-hmm.
They all have an almost kind of, I don't know if I would call it optimistic, but they all are basically saying like, we dug our own grave. There's nobody to blame but ourselves. Raven even says, I had a great childhood.
Yeah.
There's
yeah, she should have changed his course along the way, but
and then she's
well,
like,
I mean, she says I had a great childhood, and then she goes on to describe her childhood, and we're like, that's not great.
I think you got molested, Raven.
Yeah, I'm like, God, that's worse than mine, and I don't think I would describe mine as great.
Raven also has 2 kids that she does not have custody of. Shocker.
Because she was scammed by her mother.
She was scammed. Yeah,
It's not at all the activities or behavior.
No. But yeah, she says,
Lisa also made a point to mention that this is also a hallmark of this archetype of person, which does exist in the world. There are fucking millions of them out here, where they've got 2 pictures of their kid from like when they were born and like their first school picture or something.
yeah.
And these are the ones
they're
that
like,
yeah, these are what they tout out for their fucking sympathy points.
Uh-huh.
Even though
they show you a picture of like a toddler. They're like, oh, look, this is my baby. And you're like, oh, how old is he?
16.
Oh, he's 12 now.
My pride and joy.
And I'm like,
I died for them.
That's your only picture?
Yeah, that bitch is 4 in that picture, my dear.
I'd do anything for my kids. They're my babies.
Yeah, the modern version of it is every birthday they'll post the picture they have on Facebook, the one picture of them together, and it's from their like 2nd birthday party, and it's like, happy 13th birthday, Braxton.
Yeah.
And these people are real. They are among us.
And you know what? It is terrible. It is terrible that these people don't take care of their kids. But I get how easily it would be to slip into not taking care of your kid when you have them young and you're fucking on drugs. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't judge anyone's journey, and I would argue a lot of these kids are better off for not having been with their parents. What I don't care for is the falsified, like, oh, I was a great mother. I was a full stay-at-home mom. That's all I did was care about those kids.
Mm-hmm.
This narrative, I don't care for this part of it.
Yep.
Because I even respect like the pain, even knowing that it was because of your own actions that you lost your children. There's a pain there that I couldn't imagine.
Exactly.
But don't engage in this superfluous, like, false narrative shit. That's
like
what
you're
drives
the
me
victim.
Yeah, fuck off with all of that.
Yep.
I
was like, I don't get that part. Like, you have to own up to it. Like, I mean, you know, she's sitting here saying things like, oh, I had a great childhood. It's no one's fault but my own that I turned out like this. But then when it comes to like losing her kids, it's everyone else's fault.
Yeah.
It's not her fault.
And
it's the same with all of them.
Yeah,
like every single one of them.
Yeah, that's the hallmark of this personality type.
I'm kind of surprised we didn't get like a lot of more digging into Raven's past, kind of like how we got with Brad with like his parents and whatnot. Because I think Raven kind of fits into the
she's Lucy's type.
Lost girl.
She's Lucy's type.
Lost girl.
I
Angela
fucking knew it.
Aberdeen. Yeah. This whole
he likes them real thin and hopeless.
Yep. And this takes place in 2012 after his whole stint with Amira LaVey.
Mm-hmm.
I think this movie spawned from her, dude.
He's
got a weird fucking obsession with her, dude.
Well, isn't his whole... That's like just his thing, is Amira.
Yeah, that's his profile picture on Instagram.
What year did she die?
2017.
Wasn't it 2017?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. See, I always keep thinking it's earlier than that.
I don't know when they like broke up. I kind of think in between Slaughtered Vomit Dolls and Regurgitated, which is 2006, 2008 range. But yeah, he's obsessed.
Which I get it. She was objectively beautiful.
I'm telling you, she was giving me like Emma Watson vibes
She
for
was
most
so
of the
pretty.
first movie.
But then
Like,
also she was fucked in the way that I think a creature like Lucy needs a person to be fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally
she
and
was,
She was
yeah.
she was
And she
to be like Chris here, she was like Laura Palmer.
Oh.
She was beautiful, but just fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. She did Meals on Wheels, and she also appeared in Flesh World magazine.
I feel this is why I know I identified so strongly with her, because that's literally the type of shit I was up to. I was like leading praise and worship music at church and sucking dick in the fucking baptism. Like,
yeah, dude. It all comes back to Amara LaVey, dude. I'm telling you, man.
no, I agree. I also, that's why I thought, well, we feature Raven almost exclusively for, I don't know, the first 20 minutes. Yeah. It's really the Raven show for the first bit. And it's also, she's still got this, another thing this type of person likes to do is they do the like sexy baby thing. She's got this intonation to her voice that's very childlike, and she's got her little pet rat, and that's what we're talking about.
Uh-huh.
And
yeah. And then
but she's also almost acting like the den mother of the crack den.
Well, yeah, she is. She absolutely is the den mother of this.
Yeah.
There's always one.
No. Raven, I think, likes crack.
She's a fan. She's an enthusiast.
Because
she's an advocate for.
The guy, like, I guess it was the cameraman or whatever. I guess it was Lucifer Valentine.
Yeah, it was Lucifer.
He says, how often do you do crack? And she says, almost every day.
Yeah.
And then immediately she says, I used to be a crackhead. As if doing crack every day doesn't count as being a crackhead anymore.
But what the logic is, unfortunately, I understand this. It's like, I was a homeless crack whore. Now I'm a crack whore with an apartment and a reasonably safer place to do my crack. So I'm not a crackhead now. I'm like this is when the justifications for things start.
I see. Yeah, and then I think that was before we skipped to the like 6 months later. And then when we get 6 months later, I think that's when we get her saying, I love crack.
Yeah, she fucking does.
And she's picked half her fucking body off at this point, and she's also even skinnier, which is notable.
The fucking 6 months later, dude, the physical transformation of Raven is shocking.
Well, and it's
to say the least.
It's jarring. This is why it makes sense now that he only had 6 hours of footage, because he probably like went and hung out with all these people for like a day and then like revisited them. And that's impactful in and of itself, because like when you're actively using with a group of people, you almost take for granted the transformation everyone's going through. But if you have a pause button and you just see them from one point to the next, it is dramatic, the impact that this shit has.
Yeah. Because they've all kind of aged a little bit. Maybe
you age in like double time.
A little too much for I guess 6 months, if that's really what it was.
Yeah.
Because you could kind of see it, like all the dudes' faces, like they didn't look too different, but they were a little more wrinkly and they're like a little more haggard, I guess. But Raven, dude,
bruh,
pure crackhead mode.
Skeletor. That was Skeletor. Yeah. Skeletor with Lisa made mention. I can tell she's had babies, because we feature a lot of costume changes from Raven, because we are in her apartment, so she's got her closet here.
Yeah,
and this I also identified
you're on
with
drugs, Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. I do costume changes sober, so. But when I was on drugs, I swear to God, every time I went into my room, I'm changing outfits.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's
a thing, yeah.
Well, and we had this giant like mirror thing set up, and we would all just sit there and hang out and fucking fuck with our hair and change outfits and shit. I don't know, man. But
we have a kid that does that, and it pisses me off.
Oh well, yeah.
That's like, oh, you have an entire load of laundry in one day?
Okay, see, but I don't do that. If I wear a shirt for a couple hours in my home, it's not going in the laundry unless I was engaged in like floor scrubbing or something stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't appreciate excessive laundry either.
No, if anything touches her skin, it's got to go in the laundry.
Yeah, get fucked. Not for me. We can fuck right off with that.
Oh, man.
Anyway, yeah, dude, Raven's fucking not looking good, man. She's got parasites.
That's what I was going to say. Later on, yeah, they mention
she claims
Raven has parasites.
I don't know.
And I'm like, she's just on drugs.
I think this is not I don't think she's actually parasitic. I think it's, like Lisa said, she's just a picker. Because some crackheads are pickers.
I would 100% be. If I was on
You're
fucking...
already a picker.
Exactly. Like, if I was on fucking meth or crack or something, oh, it would be so bad. Because I already pick at everything.
Yeah. Well, it exponentially compounds upon itself, that instinct or whatever. Because they do just start ripping the flesh off their bodies.
She's definitely doing that, but she literally says, I have parasites. I think I got them from a dirty needle.
Yeah. Which she has probably, she might have parasites. I don't know. She for sure has hepatitis.
Yeah.
And
she said, oh my God, needles have germs. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying.
It was just so fucking crazy for somebody to so nonchalantly say, I have parasites.
Well, because one of the guys in the background first said,
and everybody else
Autumn
is like,
or Raven has parasites. That's how it started. One of the guys said, Raven has parasites. And she was like, yeah, I have parasites. So, like, it's the topic of conversation. Like, she's been talking about this for the last 6 months.
Yeah, because every day she's ripped a new fucking gash in her face, and she's like, oh, well, I had to get the parasite out.
Yeah, every single little spot she's picked at, she's been telling them about the parasite she got out of it, you know?
Parasites now, god damn it.
And so,
I know,
yeah.
that's what it starts to make you feel. You're like, I feel like I have shit now, because I'm hanging out with you.
Yep.
And so, me the parasites.
For 6 months, she's been telling them about her parasites. So they're just making jokes about it on camera at this point. Like, oh, yeah, Raven has parasites.
Was parasite mentioned before or after the armpit abscess?
I think
around the same time.
Yeah, she's just fucking showing off her diseases, dude.
Okay, so I think it started with the armpit abscess,
I think so,
and
too.
then it moved on to parasites.
I think so, as well.
Afterwards, yeah.
And I believe it, dude. I believe she has parasites.
Because, yeah, she's like, I got this abscess on my armpit. And she was like, you know, when you're shooting up and you miss, the drugs have to go somewhere. So they just make abscesses on your body and come out.
It's important that she makes the distinction to mention that she's not a doctor. Because
yeah, I know.
I would have had no way. I would have had no way of knowing if she hadn't have mentioned it.
She says all this, like, you know, highly intelligent medical stuff, and then she tells us she's not a doctor, and I was just mind blown.
I said, no way.
Yeah, dude. And the whole time she's talking about it, she's just armpit up, showing off her giant fucking cyst looking thing.
Kneading it, like squeezing it. She's like, eventually the ooze will come out. And I'm pretty sure that's...
I'm going to get high as fuck when this drugs come out.
That's what I was going to say. She's going to fucking shoot that shit up. As soon as it blows out of her fucking armpit, dude.
She's going to shoot up her own pus.
She's going to fucking break that shit up on a CD case, and she's going to shoot that shit up.
I hope so.
Guaranteed.
I love that journey for her. It's also noted, it's 6 months later, she's also forgotten to box dye her hair. Because... my bet is, I don't know if she's actually called Raven or if that's just what we're calling her.
Couldn't tell you.
I know.
I don't think she's actually Raven because her hair is actually brown, and we feature a good 8 inches of brown hair growth.
Well, and so like it's credited as Raven, spelled like Raven or whatever. But then when she's wearing that little tube top that says her name on it, it's spelled weird. Spelled like R-A-Y-V-E-N.
I didn't even read any of the shit she had on.
She probably doesn't know how to spell her fucking name.
Well, I was like, it's spelled like Rayven. So I don't know. It's just weird. It's spelled different. But I mean, and then you have Doom, so.
Well, that one was in parentheses.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
I think I've met at least 3 people named Raven, though, so.
No, I've met Ravens as well. I thought it ironic that she was box dyeing her hair black and was called Raven.
I know this fucking armpit scene affected me, though, because this morning when I was putting on deodorant, my fucking armpit fucking hurt and I had to stop.
Okay, so I already have this, and it's like I know it's entirely psychosomatic. Because I'm fine, and then I'll get like a weird ad about like aluminum-free deodorant and something, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I have tumors in my armpits.
Yeah, dude, Raven's fucking she's going through some shit. Okay, she's got parasites. Huh?
Also, what was going on with her nipples while old dude was railing her for that one bit? Did you see this? Did you see the nipples?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
They were behaving quite strangely.
They are on crack.
Well, that's,
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
It was like her boobs were like paper mache. Like, it's definitely, like, I know it's because she's on drugs and had kids, but yeah, it was insane. It was insane.
Oh my God, it was that whole little porno that we had to fucking watch, dude.
Yeah.
It's probably the worst porn I've ever seen. I didn't have a good time. I did not sexualize that woman.
No, and also, it must be the fag in me, but like, there's something especially Scarecrow-like, too, about the hair that she had going on by then. First of all, because it's so damaged by the box dye, but then she's got like probably 5 or 6 inches of the brown roots, and then the crispy, straight black part at the end. So it was just this sort of maw of, and it was on the Skeletor head. So I don't know. She was a disparate character.
It was a rough time. Like.
And also her sex words were like, hurt me.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah. Wasn't she saying like, hurt me?
I don't know.
I know I didn't make that up.
Yeah, no, she was saying some weird shit.
I was so fucking... I don't know what the fuck.
God, I know.
I was looking at the dude. I was trying to look at the dude just to fucking take my mind off things.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't.
He was unfazed, and he also only had one setting. It was just Jackrabbit.
Just fucking do the deed, get your work done, and get the fuck out.
Get
That's
in
what
there.
he was doing.
Yeah, he said, time to get to work.
Yeah, and it's disturbing.
Well, because we also had right before that the part where she was just stark naked, still just talking about random stuff.
Yeah.
While everyone else was fully clothed and still just chilling. It was, which I'm not like a everyone be clothed at all times guy. Like, I put on clothes for this because I don't wear clothes in my house, so it's just like not a thing I do. So I guess
we can start doing it naked if it makes you more comfortable.
I mean, it's just like, it doesn't occur to me to put clothes on when I'm in my home. If there are people, I understand that. I'm not like some social like cripple, but it's like it was strange. The context of her nudity was strange to me.
You want to take your shirt off?
No, if I didn't have kids, I would wear less clothes all the time.
That's what I mean. If I had people about, I would get it more, and she did. She had myriad people about. So
but no, that was the thing. Like, they're all just hanging out doing drugs, and then she would just start stripping her clothes off. Like,
which I guess if you're fucking everybody in the room aney, it's whatever. But
I guess so. They were cornholing her.
She liked it.
She loved it.
Cornholing.
Yeah.
Tell Jack I'm gonna cornhole him. I'm gonna text him that right now. You want to get cornholed tonight? God, I hate it.
Yeah, dude. No, man. The whole Raven storyline. probably hit me the hardest. Because I don't know, man. I don't know if it was just me. Like, I guess this is supposed to be like a PSA against heroin and crack and all that. But all these people we were following did not give a fuck about being on heroin and crack. They were loving it. They were loving life.
Yeah.
They were living the dream.
They were living the dream.
Maybe a nightmare dream, but it was a dream.
This is hell. They were just saying the funniest shit. They, like, none of it was kind of encouraged or glorified by any means, but it wasn't like this is your brain on drugs. Or
No, except that it was. But yeah.
Well, I mean,
it was.
And we
I don't know
have
how
to
to
keep
explain.
in mind. We have to
I know
keep
what you were
in mind,
talking
though,
about.
we're
It's like
just-
the active users weren't like, don't do drugs, kids. Because normally in this type of stuff, you get. We're used to like repentant users in this kind of content, and that is not what was featured here.
Yeah, they're all literally deteriorating, but they're like, "This is great, I love it."
Oh yeah,
but it's like Raven is showing it.
Well, that's what I think. That's probably why she hit you the hardest. Is she's got the most dramatic, physical manifestation. And in a way, it's probably, like I said earlier, it's impactful because we get the like pause button. Had he like stuck with this group for a while, you wouldn't have noticed it as severely, but because there was like even if it was just 6 months, because that's dramatic for 6 months, but that is how it happens.
Like she is the PSA.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think she's don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah. Big time, dude. She's got parasites.
Well, you could just show pictures of her.
Yeah.
In the second half of the film as like a don't do drugs, kids thing. That's like what's on those types of posters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A little before and after of Raven, dude. Yeah, that's all I need.
Yeah.
I don't need to see the armpit fucking abscess.
I think you should have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably helps.
We just see like more and more of the shooting up with her. Like it went from just it being an occasional thing to just like it's every fucking scene. Just over and over and over her shooting up. And then having sex with her boyfriend. And then he shoots her up.
Yeah, and this is Raven's sort of the arc of her storyline, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's mentioned for context that the mother of Brad's children, well, unborn children, I guess, died by doing. It's referred to as caps. It's like when you dilute like a syringe's worth of drugs, you usually do it in like a bottle cap. And that's how you. It's like just a metric for measuring how much you're doing, and so it was noted by Brad that she had done 3 caps in the day that his girl OD'd and died. And then it's mentioned by Raven that that's how much she's just done.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I know. It was almost like a little callback, wasn't it?
It was exactly a callback.
Oh, my God.
So.
She did 3 caps.
Yep, of course that means dead. Which, unironically, with someone as active, your tolerance level does increase as you do shit like this. And, you know, there can be freak incidents where a heavy user can OD on something like 3 caps, but, like, a girl like Raven is not ODing on 3 caps unless it's just straight, not diluted, otherworldly level, like, pure shit. But that's just not happening. But yeah,
the whole thing was weird. And I think that's how you knew that it was fake. Like, you know for sure that that's a fake death. Because, I mean...
Well, and I swear to you, man, you can almost tell when these dudes are taking direction. Because...
Well, they're making eye contact with the fuck behind the camera, just like the fucking disclaimer bitches do. Is this what you're wanting me to say?
And, like, the whole movie, for the most part, they're fucking out of it. And like, oh, yeah. But it's like, whenever certain scenes happen, they're just hyper-focused. And they do it.
Well, this
like
is more
fucking
conjecture,
robots.
but is this well, before I give you this bill to go get another bag, let's shoot this thing. In my brain, that's what's happening. The boyfriend carries her after that into the bed.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking rolls her over and rips her clothes off. And then just kind of leaves her naked.
They for some reason strip her. And then they just like leave her on the bed.
My guess was for
die.
ease of use because, you know, it's going to be time for their rotation to kick in at some point.
Yeah.
But then the next clip is of some fake blood poured all over the bed with her. Like really red blood.
Yeah.
Naked, distraught chick fucking sprawled out. That's the Lucifer Valentine special.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who's left? Just Brad and his ilk?
Yeah, it's Brad.
You don't just become a Satanist or anything, man. It's either fucking born in you or it's not. You're not gonna know when you're a kid if you're a Satanist or not, you know? I'm just saying, you know, you just become awakened one day. That fucking quote, do what thou wilt, shall be the whole of the law. Just, like, that's the way it should be. Don't deny your basic primitive human fucking... Although I do believe in a higher power, something had to fucking create all this bullshit. I'd much rather fucking burn for eternity than to be up there doing fucking push-ups.
And this is our sort of de facto main character.
Yeah, you can definitely tell he's like the dude.
Well, he's obviously the one with the most connects because he's who we go through for drugs every time. You can sort of, you know how if you chop down a tree, you can count the rings to see how old a tree is?
Yeah.
With crackheads, if there's only one tooth left at the top, we know we've made it to the upper echelon.
Yeah.
This is a guy you can rely on to get drugs.
That's old Chomper, man.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the movie, he's missing one front tooth.
He's missing one, or he only has one?
I don't know. I think it progresses because at the beginning, like, they don't seem so bad, but he's definitely missing one front tooth.
I think he only had the one. I'm pretty sure.
Towards the end of the movie, he does a full spread lips. Like, look at all my teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
Just shards.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that when he fucking says, "Hey, you want to see my foot?"
Yeah, okay, I have a note about that.
What was going on? Why? Why?
He was showing his teeth. That was the same scene where he showed his full mouth and he only has the one tooth.
You have to go up a shoe size.
Yeah, and then they were all laughing like, "Oh, you should see his toenails." And he's like, "Oh, you want to see my toenails?"
No.
And he takes his fucking shoes and socks off. And yeah, that was terrible. And he even says, "I could slit a baby's throat with this."
Yeah.
Talking about his giant freaking big toenail.
And he absolutely could because it was like an inch fucking longer than this toe.
It was insane.
He had fucking dagger toes, dude.
They were thick.
Yeah.
Do you know how I can't, if I've neglected to cut my toenails even a little bit, I feel it when I wear my shoes throughout the day.
Me too.
Are these people just wearing whatever size shoe? I don't understand how this is even happening.
Well, probably because, they're all on drugs. So they just go down to the shelter and grab a free pair of shoes in whatever size
Yeah,
they
so
have.
he wears a size 10, but he's got 14s on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean,
I can't live.
He might be too high to fucking feel it, dude. He probably hasn't felt his toes.
I don't understand the geometry of getting it in there.
Yeah, because those fuckers are thick, man. You're not just folding that toenail down.
No.
It's shooting out that fucking
Yeah, they're
shoe,
like
dude.
jettisoning out the front of your fucking... No.
Dude, they were fucking crazy looking,
They
man.
were insane.
All of them.
Yeah.
Every toenail was so long.
If you think of like nasty like witch acrylics or something, they're like on the foot.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He had some fucking bog witch feet.
Yeah. There was
Wow.
fucking
Yeah.
swamp dweller situations. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So crazy.
And then after that, he talks about being from West Virginia. Several times he mentions he's from West Virginia or
As
whatever.
if we couldn't tell.
And then talks about digging up bodies.
Yeah.
That was an interesting conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're just out there digging up. We needed a left hand.
I liked Autumn Misery's
Some shit like
contribution to
that.
this
Like-
as well. She's like, oh yeah, but have you ever seen a new dead body?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's doing like some Satanist ritual or something, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
his
assume
through
so.
line is that he's like a devout Satanist, and every
Mm-hmm.
metal fan's fake poser, because unless it's rooted in Satanism.
Oh, yeah. From the beginning, it's been just little rants about how black metal should be about Satan.
It's not at all about distortion, just Satan.
Mm-hmm. And then, you know, of course, we've got his whole backstory. Him meeting Angie.
Well, before that,
he
his
needed
like
someone.
I like his like inception, his like introduction to drug story too. It, like where he met the cougar lady.
Yeah, that was Angie.
That was Angie.
Mm-hmm. It
I
says
thought he
how
said
Brad
I thought he
made-
said everything was Cookie or something or Coo.
Dude,
There was-
I don't
there was
even
another-
know. I remember something about Cookie.
There was another
yeah.
story because Angie was his dead girl, but I want to say Cookie was a
Yeah.
different character. I hope so. Surely.
I know. I wish I would have put that in my notes, but I didn't. But yeah, there was definitely something about someone named Cookie.
Because he was saying the first time he ever did this stuff, he was selling cocaine when he was like 19, and
Mm-hmm.
he ended up selling some to this lady, this older woman called Cookie, who then he said, well, somehow she got my number, and so she hit me up, and we were hanging out. We went to go get some drugs off some guy, and I just thought it would be some weed or something.
See, I think that's Angie. I think that's Angie he's talking about there.
Okay.
Because he says he needed someone to buy him beer, and
Yeah, I thought that was the...
I guess she agreed to.
Okay. Oh, I forgot about the beer.
I don't
forgot
know.
about the beer part. Yeah, that's why
Because
the
then
19
he's
bit
like,
was
yeah. Yeah, because then he's like, oh, yeah. She said, do you want to get some drugs? And he was like, yeah, sure. Because I thought we were just going to get weed.
Okay, then I was confused because I thought that whole bit was about Cookie.
I know, because it was very strange. Yeah, so I think that's Angie he's talking about there. That she said, do you want to go get drugs? And he was like, yeah, sure. Thinking it was just going to be weed. And then it was, I guess, heroin.
Surprise, bitch, I'm a heroin addict.
And then, yeah, he goes on to talk about how he keeps saying, like, she killed herself. Like, I don't know how she could kill herself. But it was an OD. So I don't know if you really count that as killing yourself.
Yeah, she did 3 caps back behind a shooting range.
Mm-hmm.
A pawn shop shooting range.
Pawn shop shooting range.
Which sounds
yep.
to me like we've got coffee cans set up out back.
Probably.
You know what I mean? I don't think it's like a...
Yeah, dude. That was such a crazy thing to say, dude.
Well, to refer to it as a shooting range exclusively and then bring in the fact that it's a pawn shop that people can shoot the guns out back at, those are different situations.
Yeah.
So she's, I don't know what, she's fucking sighting in her new fucking scope or whatever and goes out back and does 3 caps full of that boy. And dies.
She just got out of rehab. She just got out of rehab that day.
I mean,
She was very upset because she had lost her kids and she loved her kids.
Oh yeah, they were working on getting custody of the kids back, and
Yeah. Or maybe it was just one kid. I don't remember.
I think he said her daughter. It might have just been one. So I
Uh-huh.
think he said her daughter. I still love her to death.
I think he said we were gonna get custody of her daughter, something like that. Yeah, and she's just got out of rehab that day, and then she called the guy up to get drugs or something, and he met her in the alley behind the shooting range pawn shop, and she did 3 caps of the same shit he's doing now.
She usually only ever does 2. Now, this is more conceivable. 3 caps of anything straight out of rehab, that's different than daily active user. Especially depending on how long rehab was. Because he also said she got out of one rehab and then he put up his own money to get her into a better one. Or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit.
Which is also probably just bullshit, but...
Brad's he's a little fucking crazy, man. Not only does he have no teeth and the fucking wildest toenails I've ever seen.
He's also full-time cucking this dude.
Whenever, he's a little hard up for heroin, he just shoots Jack Daniels straight into his fucking neck.
And he does it after smoking a lot of crack. Which I don't know if you've ever combined the two, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you know. One definitely neutralizes the other. Maybe shooting it up is different. I've admittedly, never shot up Jack Daniels, so maybe it's a little stronger. But I'd be willing to bet the crack still beats it. Unless it's real bad.
Yeah. That shit was crazy. He takes some Jack Daniels straight to his fucking throat, then rapes a woman. Oh yeah, I think that was a consensual fingering. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking
he was fingering her. He was fingering her. It was the rape bit of Autumn is a different part.
Yeah, that was the abortion scene.
Yeah, but he does finger blast her while receiving the neck shot of Jack, which I appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Autumn did seem into it.
I'm kind of thinking Autumn was there to get fingered.
Yeah, it seems like her role here. She gets in where she fits in. Our girl Autumn knows and she knows how to get to work.
Yeah, most of it seemed pretty consensual.
Yeah, she's also
there was just that one
sort of
time.
slobbering all over his face afterwards too.
Yeah, she was there to get fingered and smoke crack.
And yeah, I think that who was having sex with her. I think he was the one that was fucking her at one point. Like choking her.
Yeah, he was choking her out.
Yeah.
His floppy dick was still in his pants, though. I don't know what we were doing.
Yeah, he was all about black metal and Satan and fingering girls.
Not a bad gig. We gotta shout out that his story about learning the trade, being brought up in the dope gang by the older black guy, who's the only black guy he fucks with, and he was like a father figure to him. Only black dude I fuck with, older cat, called like Cat Paw or something. Taught him the dope game. Dude. The Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Cat Paw, dude.
Honorable mention to Cat Paw.
Yeah, shout out to Cat Paw.
He also mentions early on in the film that the reason he's such a good connect is that his mom's got all the fucking scripts. So he just has to say he's dope sick and she'll give him whatever he wants.
That's around the same time when he's talking about Raven's boyfriend letting her get away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Raven's like, oh yeah, he's such a great friend. Anytime I call him and say I'm sick, he brings me something that helps me not be sick anymore.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, Oxycontin. I get them from my mom. I just tell her I'm dope sick and she gives them to me.
Yeah.
And we get some interviews with the parents.
Brad's dad made me really sad for him.
Oh yeah. He was like, I tried to help him He'll always be my son. I'll always love him, but that doesn't mean I have to like him.
Well, and he also, you could tell it was a guy who's, it seems a lot of people will feel like it's a cold approach, but like you really do have to like, you can't enable this type of shit if you want it to stop.
Exactly.
And so he stated distinctly that his one prerequisite that you've got to be sober for a year and then we can just start the fuck over. And that's a really reasonable. So if Brad makes it, it'll be because of people like his dad.
Yeah.
It broke my heart for that man, his father.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, these were probably, I think, like the saddest moments in the movie was the
that dad was the saddest to me. That was that.
Yeah.
That sucks.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, because the mom is kind of the enabler. And the dad's kind of like, I want to help him, but only if he wants to help himself.
So I'm not... The mom's a strange subject, because...
I know.
We'll give her the benefit of the doubt, and we'll just say she's a testament to, like, what the opioid crisis actually looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because Lucy reports that she has Legionnaire's disease.
Mm-hmm.
And as a product of that, she's on ample treatments and, like, pain management systems. And
I think at one point she mentioned something like maybe she was even just addicted to the pills.
Yeah, she's an addict in herself.
Because she was
this
like,
is what I mean, though.
It starts out with like Tylox, and now she's up to synthetic heroin.
Yeah, she's got fentanyl patches on, and but like, it's hard. The damage, as it applies to like her kid, comes in that she's like the supplier.
Yeah, she's like, I caught him stealing my stuff, And he was sorry. He was so sorry that he was doing it. He didn't want to do it.
Well, and she's at least partially right, I imagine.
Yeah.
Because unless you're like a legitimate piece of shit, it's not an excuse to go rob from your mother and like stuff. But addiction does bring you to the brink of, you still have to make active decisions, but like it does make it far easier to make the poor decision. But it also sounds like she, it's just the classic enabler versus how the dad's approach is like, no.
Yeah.
It's not love to like let you do this.
Oh yeah, because he said earlier, like, I just have to tell her I'm dope sick and she'll give me some Oxycontin. And then she even confirms that, like, oh yeah, if he's sick, I'll give him something to help because I don't want to see him suffer.
Well, I mean, even if she didn't, though, if she said, like, fuck you, dude, he's going to steal that shit anyway.
Yeah, that's why it's rough, because I don't fault either of those people.
Yeah,
I think if she's giving it to him, she can at least be like, okay, well, here's this many that you can have. Because if she said no, then he would just go steal all of them.
Well, so what it boils down to, if she's going to actually, like... The only way you can stop enabling that is to like the alternative looks like calling the cops on your own kid, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I can't say that I would ever do either. I don't know. It would depend, I guess.
Yeah. It's a bad situation, and she's fucking. Whether she wants to admit it or not, she's strung the fuck out too.
Well, that's what I mean. It's rough. It's insane though, because like she's being prescribed it.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I had, I could be that. I could probably be, I don't know. It was sad. That bit was sad.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And also, before she really gets into talking about Brad, she talks about how she was abused as a child.
Yeah, this is why because they didn't mention the Legionnaire's disease till after this, so I thought that his mom was just a fucking crackhead too.
Yeah, just strung out. And, you know, the one line that got me was, you know, me and my sister, we just kind of put it in a box. Little girls do silly things like that.
Yeah, so this felt like a story she tells. This is a phrase she's said sometimes now. Which doesn't like discredit it or anything, but it's like this feels performative. But she's also high as fuck, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Strange character though, the mother.
Yeah, definitely.
And then towards the end, we get the note that says 2 years and several ODs later, Brad was put into a psych ward by his dad after he tried to hang himself.
Yeah, are we buying that?
I could, I guess. I guess I could.
Yeah, how long was he just sitting on this 6 hours worth of footage?
Yeah, that's true.
This is what I don't understand about the Lucy timelines.
I know.
He's got all this shit just sitting around.
Yeah.
For what? This is also why I don't understand like the funding situations and why I think it's believable to me that this is just like I got some extra money. Let's go buy these drug addicts some shit so I can see what they do on camera. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, we see
for all his films.
Yeah.
Black Mass took 5 fucking years.
For what? Half of it was fucking fan made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or spanking somebody in a motel room.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Those bits are all suspicious to me, but it's mostly because I'm so biased towards Lucy at this point.
Yeah. Nah.
I know, that's my problem too. I kind of just hate this guy.
That's Black Metal Veins. Pretty depressing movie. Pretty sad movie.
It's bad because I liked it. Like, I think it was a better movie than the vomit gore movies that we've watched from Lucifer Valentine. But yet, I know it was just so...
Actually, I think I did kind of like this one. Like we were saying, it's an hour and 30 minutes, and it did not drag at all. I was actually really engaged with it. You know, we ended the movie at like 11 o'clock at night, and I didn't want to kill myself. So that's definitely saying something. But yeah, it's a bleak fucking movie. But in a weird way, it's almost not, because they were just kind of just having a good time doing heroin the whole time.
I think the bleakness is the reality of it.
Yeah.
That this is a trap a significant portion of our population falls into.
Yeah.
And I think everyone should do whatever drugs they want. I'm not like a war on drugs like guy. I don't think it should be everyone else's problem.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it comes into play for me. So it's sad for people like these people's parents who are obviously impacted by it and raising children that they didn't produce because of it, and you know, having to deal with moral dilemmas about whether or not to supplicate their children's use by supporting them and stuff like that. That's sad.
Yeah.
And also like the just general, like I said earlier, I would describe myself as a nihilist too, but I don't think it's like in a depressing way. It's for me, it's distinctly liberating to like, I think it's why I have no anxiety, because I'm like, I'm not super concerned with the impression I made on that person, because at some point we'll both be dead. So I don't really care. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I also agree. I think this was his best movie. And so I do have to give him credit on that front. And I think it's because he didn't have to write anything. Because I think the only knocks this movie took was when he tried to fucking write something into it.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's his talent.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem with that, because it calls into question entirety of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's not like I know it's like an ethical issue, but like even reality TV at this point is typically what's referred to as soft scripted, which are like these people are given prompts to just sort of extrapolate upon.
Yeah.
So it's not even like a unique or entirely like Lucy specific issue, in my opinion, but it's like it was strange to me because it was like, it didn't improve the film. It actively impacted the film negatively, in my opinion. So why not just not do that?
Yeah,
because like Chris said, I think your editing style suits this kind of documentary already. So like, just stick with the strong points. I don't understand.
Yeah,
I don't understand the other.
Especially when you supposedly had a guy that literally fucking died during the filming of this.
Yeah.
Why don't we cover that? Why don't we deal with that instead of making up a fucking death?
Yeah, I think the fake death thing really just made the movie worse overall.
Yeah, I think it detracted from, because otherwise this seemed very rooted in reality, and then that sort of, I don't know.
Yeah,
because,
like Chris said, made you question everything then.
Yeah.
Like, how much of this was fake then?
Yeah.
If he's faking the death, how much of this is he faking?
Yeah, well, and maybe that's what he's going for. I don't know. He, as is his way, encourages everyone to watch the extra features, which in some way inform and make the film better. But I'm just here to tell you that means it's a bad fucking film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
All right, well, Lisa, we need your star rating and your what the fuck moment.
Oh, God, I'm not ready.
I talked all this mad shit, and I'm really going to give it like a high star rating one.
I know.
Yeah, I know. I can't decide what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go with like 2 stars, honestly.
Okay.
That's got to be the highest rated Lucifer Valentine movie I have.
Yeah, I think so. Tied with Regurgitated.
I was going to say, you've got Regurgitated
Oh, okay.
it too.
Yeah. Okay.
Your bottom 3 0.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to give it 2 stars. What the fuck moment? I think I'm going to go with... Yeah, it did. I think I'm going to go with the first incident where Autumn just starts puking into the toilet while she's talking. You know?
Yeah, because it's a...
Just all of a sudden, it's a vomit gore movie now.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go with that as my what the fuck moment when she just starts puking.
I don't know if that handle is just really good, so it sounds familiar, or if it actually sounds familiar. Oh, it fits her too. We didn't mention it, but that shitty tattoo that she showed her whole pussy for was a tattoo that just said misery. It's like, oh yeah, I like to keep a little misery in my pocket. And then she goes on to describe the tattoo, which she said, well, my interpretation of it, which I'm here to tell you, if you have to give your interpretation of the tattoo you got, then you got a shitty tattoo.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Oh, yeah. All right, Bo. What are you going to rate this thing?
I'm going to give it like 4 stars.
Hell yeah.
It honestly probably would have been like 5 for me if he would have just fucking left his stupid ideas out of it.
Yeah.
Because I agree. I think the editing made it actually like added to the engagement factor of it instead of how it usually detracts.
Yeah.
And I think that's because the content was based in reality, and then he fucked it off. My what the fuck moment will go with, there was a banger title, or a banger line. I don't think it was Brad. I think it was one of the B characters, but it might have been Brad. Said he almost drowned when he nodded out in a bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
Was it Brad?
It's either Brad or fucking
It was
Chris
Brad or Doom, I think.
Yeah, it was one of them. They all kind of look the same.
I know. I was like, I have it in my notes somewhere. Yeah, that was a good one. Said I almost drowned in my bowl of cereal.
And if it's not that, it's the strange. There's some sections of Raven sort of holding court as she's prone to in the second half, where she's just stark naked, but talking about stuff so like matter of factly and just like out of context and just surrounded by people who aren't even looking at her and are also just like minding their own business, fully dressed in her home. And
yeah,
I loved that.
Yeah. She's just like, you know what? I need to be naked right now.
She probably didn't even know she was naked.
She might not have, because it just happened so fluidly.
Oh, there was also the part where she said that her mom told her her daddy was an oyster.
Oh yeah,
this was all in that same bit. This was in that same bit.
Yeah, it was.
Because this was also in the meantime of this is like she just gave Brad another shot and she's like making sure he's going to stay awake in the bathroom. She's like, Brad's the only person who has permission to die here and won't get thrown in the dumpster. Or,
yeah.
Which I like. Raven in general is pretty what the fuck. So
yeah, Raven's out of control.
She
there.
is, yeah.
My daddy's an oyster.
She said, yeah, because they said something like, do you still talk to your mom? And she's like, she's my mommy. She's a fucking bitch, but she's my mommy. And then she's like, when I was growing up, she told me my daddy was an oyster.
What the fuck? God, I can't believe I forgot to fucking mention that. That's fucking so crazy to say.
that's what I mean. There was some banger shit in here.
I know this shit is hilarious, man, but it's like, I know I probably shouldn't be laughing at it, but everything they say is so fucking funny.
I know, that's why I gotta go with that one line, because he opened it by saying, yeah, man, one time I almost drowned. Nodded out in a bowl of cereal. You can't open with I almost drowned and end with a bowl of cereal.
I know. I almost drowned in my bowl of cereal.
It's bringing it back home. I was like,
I cannot find it in my notes. It's driving me crazy.
I don't think it was Brad, so it must have been Doom, because I don't think it was one of the skinnier ones.
I was also gonna say there was a line from Autumn. I think it was Brad said something like, I'll learn you like my daddy learned me. Mm-hmm. And she said, I'll learn you with my stiletto in your face. And it is 8 inches.
Yeah. She had, so after the like fingering while getting shot up with whiskey, she just starts talking mad shit. For a bit. She's like, I'll do all your fucking drugs so you don't gotta worry about it. And stuff like that. I was like, get him, Autumn. I don't know, man.
Yeah, she was just talking shit.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, she was my hero in this film. I loved her.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they all say just fucking such off the wall shit, man. And that's what makes it, I think that's what makes it like an actually good movie. It's because they're all like, I don't know. Maybe it is kind of like a highlight reel, but.
Well, it's because you have a cast of, it's realistic neuroticism is what it is. It's like, because they're so fucked off, they're all so neurotic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also a side effect of doing drugs like this is you all just keep cycling through your little core memories that you've either made up or can't get away from.
Oh, yeah.
And you just keep saying them to each other and pretty much unsolicited and in no linear fashion.
Yep.
Yeah. It
makes for a lot of funny audios.
It probably helps because it's like, people we don't know. So we haven't heard the story fucking 6,000 times.
Well, maybe a little bit like Lisa, but for sure for me, that's what made it almost more depressing was just like, I know these people.
Yeah.
I've spent half my life with these people. What about you, Chris? What's your rating and what the fuck moment?
Well, I think I'm going to give this one 3.5 stars. My what the fuck moment is going to be, I got parasites.
Yeah, I got parasites.
Like,
yeah, so
it's
I
no
got
big deal.
parasites.
Like,
Yeah.
if the words "I have parasites" ever come out of my mouth, dude, it's not. It's a problem.
Yeah.
It's because I'm begging for fucking help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not just casually talking about your parasites.
Yeah.
What if you're naked in your living room with a group of people over?
It's
while you
because
say it?
I am trying to show them my parasites.
Look at these fucking parasites.
Oh, comes Chris with his parasites again.
All right, Lisa.
Oh, fuck.
How spicy is this movie?
This movie is like if you took some pickled jalapenos and fried them up in a pan with like some sugar to like crystallize them, you know? It's not really that spicy.
Does that sound delicious?
Yeah, what the fuck?
It's kind of strange, but not very spicy.
Right.
I don't know. I guess
You're going off the wall right now.
I know I am. Well, I want to do something. I want to do something weird because I feel like it's not really our typical movie. Like, it's not really that spicy as far as like gore and stuff like that goes.
Okay, yeah. But I mean, this is
not,
there was like
that one
you
foray
know.
into it was bullshit. So
yeah.
At the
The
same
only
time-
gore was just bullshit, like just her laying in a puddle of blood.
I think this is a pretty spicy movie.
It might be.
pretty disturbing.
I guess
think.
I just don't equate the rampant drug use we saw to spicy.
no, it's because we're so used to it. I think.
I think so. I think it's just another one of those things. Like I'm just
no, we're so
fucked
fucked
up now.
We're so fucked, dude. I almost think we need like what's it called, like a tolerance break.
Yeah, we need a tolerance break.
We have to watch some fucking Disney movies or something.
Yeah.
No, I want to keep going. I want us to get to like. I want us to actually be watching some like really dark shit and be like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
no, it didn't really do it for me. Almost as like a social experiment to like prove that like what you watch has no real bearing on how you interact with other people. Because I can tell you, I could watch every movie you throw at me, and what I'm not going to do is start luring people into my home and chopping them up.
Exactly. Like I can watch this shit all day. It doesn't mean I'm going to start doing it.
No. So you've got sugar-coated jalapenos?
Yeah, like yeah. That's exactly what I have.
Is that
Hell
is
yeah.
that like good? That sounds
I
like
don't
it might
know.
be good. That might be good.
I was just thinking
Fried
that
jalapenos with sugar? That might be ball. I don't know for
it
sure.
might.
Yeah,
it
dude,
might
you might be onto something, Liz.
It might be.
We might have to experiment.
Yeah, dude, I might have to cut this out of the podcast in case we're like onto like some shit. You know what I mean?
I'll report back. I think I'm going to try this. This might be good. I think I'll go with like, you ever lick someone's armpit and some pus comes out?
No.
Don't worry, that's just the drugs.
Yeah.
You're gonna
then
get real high in a
Yeah.
minute.
And then you nod out.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna fucking suck the heroin out of somebody's fucking
Yeah.
armpit abscess.
This
I'm
was
not
a-
very good at shooting up. I miss a lot.
Got
The
a
drugs
big-
gotta come out somewhere.
Oh my god. Dude, you know they're drying that shit out and like snorting it or something, dude.
I would hope not, but like she said, she's not a doctor. What about you, Chris? How spicy is this movie?
I think I'm gonna go with the Crack House classic. A box of cereal full of fucking cockroaches.
Mm.
That you pass out.
And yeah, you fucking make your bowl of cereal and fucking it's full of roaches. You don't notice it because you're so high. And you fucking nod out in that bowl of cereal and all the bugs crawl in your ears and shit.
I also forgot to mention her. It was near the beginning. It was in the first half for sure. One of her random blurbs, Ravens, was who drank all the Kool-Aid, and it was like a. It brought me back to reality again because I was something that these people like don't drink water when they're fucked off either. It's like Kool-Aid, and God, it was just so. That's how I know this shit was real, except for that one shit.
Yeah.
Well, and just like, because like he was almost doing like, little interviews with each person, right? And they'd have like little monologues. But in the background, you'd see all the fucking weird shit happening. Like we seen Autumn Misery just running around fucking tits out.
Yeah.
Or just rolling around on the floor.
Just in the background, like, that fucking house is insane.
That wasn't arguably the best stripping we've seen in a...
It was.
In a Lucy film, though, because everything else... Scarecrow stripping does nothing for me. And that's all we've pretty much been featured so far.
It really was. Yeah. And that's a crazy thing to say. But
I know.
It was.
Because it still wasn't great, but...
Yeah.
But the spirit was there.
All right. I guess all that's left to do is slot this in on our leaderboard.
Okay.
Are you going to describe what a leaderboard is?
I guess I should, because it's always somebody's first listen.
I only mention it because I've noticed you've started.
Yeah. I've tried to, but I always fucking forget. I always forget to fucking explain things. What our leaderboard is where we just kind of rank our personal favorites that we've covered on the podcast so far. So, Lisa, where is Black Metal Veins slotting in on your leaderboard?
Oh, man. I think it's gonna go... I'm having a hard time deciding if it's gonna go above or below Lolita Vibrator Torture. I think it's gonna go below Lolita Vibrator Torture.
All right. Number 17, Felisa. All right, Bo.
I really think I would watch Lolita. I don't know. That's what's so hard. Like, would I watch Lolita again before I watch this again?
Somehow... I know I would personally watch this before Lolita again. But also, I was obviously just not in the mood for that film, so...
I know. That's why I'm like, I just don't know.
And I watched this the same day somehow.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
No, that movie must be shit then. Lolita sucks.
All right, Bo, where are you ranking this one?
We'll go right above Cannibal Ferox, so it's my new number 9.
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
All right,
what about you, Chris?
Where's it going?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to slot it in right under Thanatomorphos. It's going to be my new number 8.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I must have just re-engaged or something afterwards, because now Chris and I are back on the same page where we belong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have it at 8 and Bo has it at 9. And mine's all the way down on 17.
Yeah, we really got out of sync, Bo, on Lolita.
I know. That's why I know it was a me thing. That's what I even said. I was like, I must have missed something, because Chris and I are almost always
I don't know.
same page.
Maybe it just hit me like Mermaid in the Manhole did.
Well,
because we're kind of different on that one too.
No, because Bo was more on my level. So that's how you know he was just having a bad day.
I've been brought down to the muck and the mire.
Yeah. He was just in a bad mood, obviously, because he was on my level.
Yeah. My resting state.
Hell yeah. Well, that was Black Metal Veins. Thanks again to Hexylox for the recommendation. Send us some more recommendations, man. We like to be just exposed to the horrors of cinema
I will echo Lisa's sentiment, but I'll add a caveat. If you're going to request more Lucifer films, you don't have to bribe us, but you do have to participate in the conversation. I need to question you, your motives. Yeah. I need to know more about your bloodline and lineage.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna have to at least fucking jump in on the podcast and
you don't have to hang out with us the whole time, but I do need to hear from you. Because I've got some questions.
Yeah.
I think as of right now, we are left to our own devices.
We're free to watch whatever the fuck we want.
For our next movie.
I think we should watch Mulan.
Alright, damn it. Do you guys got any fucking movies you want to do?
I don't have any movies I want to do. I'm sorry. I didn't know that this was something.
I was just asking before I fucking just come up with one.
Okay, yeah, just come up with one then.
I don't want to be the only guy fucking picking movies.
Well, last time Lisa picked, we watched the Vomit Gore series, so...
Yeah, you don't want me to pick anymore.
Alright, hey, you guys want to do a random?
Yeah, let's do random.
Alright.
Daddy.
Oh, Daddy.
This seems on brand, too. 1973? Oh, you know what's even better than incest? Is some revenge afterwards, and I'm not even being ironic.
This might be something.
Is this the winner? Is this what we're doing? I'm sold. Look at that wig. How can I not watch this movie?
Yeah.
Look at that wig.
This seems like...
This is wiggery afoot. I'm on board for this one.
It says also known as Daddy, a bedtime story.
I knew someone was going to make the joke. I wasn't going to fucking...
I think this is our episode, ladies and gentlemen.
You see that man's wig?
Yeah.
And the mustache?
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
That's it for this week's episode of What the Fuck Are You Watching? Tune in next week when we cover the 1973 film Daddy.
It's gonna be great.
Don't know a lot about this one. Going into it kind of blind. Could be great. Could suck. We'll find out next week on What the Fuck Are You Watching? Say bye, bitch.
Bye, bitch.
Bye, bitch.
That's damn good.
Did you think this podcast was as good as instant noodles? Or is it more like a cobalt blue tarantula? Leave us a rating and review wherever you're listening to this podcast at. Get in touch with us at WTFareyouwatchingpod@gmail.com, where you can leave reviews for the movies we've been watching, recommend other movies for us to watch, or leave any questions or comments for us to answer. Either way, thanks for listening.